No Man's Sky's Corvette expedition can be done so much faster if you have a few bits of information ahead of time. So I have 12 tips for the expedition to help you avoid hiccups and speed through unhindered. The first tip is a simple and quick one. Don't put any resources or really anything in your crash starting ship before you teleport to the station. Spoiler alert, but you aren't ever going to see that ship again, and by the time you know that for sure you can't get to it. So keep your resources on you when you use the technology item to port to the station. This little trick to gathering Corvette module parts is very well known at this point, but I thought it best to briefly mention it for any viewers who may not know. All you have to do is fly to a planet with salvageable scrap on it. It'll say it has it available in the tooltip when you scan it from space. Hover over the surface and get out of your Corvette seat via the quick menu. While freestanding in your ship, you can simply use your analysis visor to find and mark salvage containers without ever landing the ship. Then get back into the pilot seat to fly over and shoot where it's marking. The splash damage from your ship's weapon will hit the buried scrap and destroy it, giving you the loot, which is mostly Corvette parts with the occasional treasure. Anarchy has a great little trick to being completed without effort. You need to destroy 3 interceptors, which if you are very new are the sentinel ships. With a fresh ship that has no shield modules and an unupgraded weapon, this may seem daunting, but you'll be fine. First of all, know that if you fly right outside the space station, you can just fly in to cut aggro and completely stop the fight. You could fly back out immediately and the interceptors will have gone. Next, you should know that if you shoot the space station, you'll get a wanted level and interceptors will immediately fly out to attack you. Therefore, to easily complete Anarchy, you just have to shoot the space station a few times to annoy it, then focus fire one of the interceptors that comes out. With a completely unupgraded ship, destroying 3 before your shields go too low and you get damaged tech is going to be tricky, so feel free to fly back in between each kill. Either way, it's a relatively safe method and pretty easy right away. Alternatively, just wait until the later stages when you'll be given shielding tech to help out a little bit. Warping efficiently is big in expeditions, as if you do it right you don't have to make more than a single warp cell that you'll use later for crafting and will have enough fuel with how the hyperdrive on your Corvette came pre-filled. The Starship technology vendor in the station in the first system should sell a C and B class hyperdrive upgrade, both cheap and both enough to get you going. Installing the B class in your ship's supercharged slot with the C class and hyperdrive touching it will give you at the very least a range of 329.2. That's if you lost the roll lottery on both upgrades and your ship's range bonus modifier. Warping directly to Rendezvous 1 only needs 305. After arriving at Rendezvous 1 you'll be able to claim the rewards from Can't Take the Sky, which just has to be a sweet Firefly reference, one of the rewards from this being an X-Class hyperdrive. If you have the worst luck in the verse, you'll only have 391.6 range for the rest of the expedition and will need to make 1 or 2 extra warp cells, but there's a good chance you'll be able to directly warp to all or most destinations and barely, if at all, have to refuel. Silent running requires you to grow and harvest a total of 8 crops on your Corvette. To those speedrunning this may sound like a nightmare, but fear not, it's quick and easy. Rendezvous 2 and its following milestone will provide you with the blueprints to plant crops and the hazmat gauntlets required to pick crops. Generally, Frostwater would be the best choice as the grow time is only 1 hour and it's actually less in this context. Pop to the frozen planet in the system and grab at least 50 darksite and 100 frost crystal. This is enough to plant 2 frostwort on your ship. There is a bug at the moment where warping in your Corvette will instantly grow the crops planted in the Corvette. This was a common and very long term bug for freighter bases too. Regardless, you have at least 4 more warps to do for getting the 3rd, 4th and 5th rendezvous as well as the pirate system, and so harvesting the 2 after each warp will get you the 8th. Also keep in mind that there is a bug where harvesting 1 crop will appear to harvest all of them. Though this is only a visual bug, you can still harvest the others even though they look depleted. A tip for fishing seems a little silly, but this is just a really simple one. All planets in this expedition have super pissy sentinels. Like all of them are having a really bad day and want you to die screaming. This makes fishing annoying. But we can solve that. All you have to do is to drill a big tunnel in the ground just above water level and walk into it, where the sentinels will lose sight of you. Then make a little pit within the cave going into the water to fish into your safe cave and get the milestone completed. Advanced Move talks about installing modules that increase your maneuverability. Well, that could confuse you, as it did me, and make you think you need pulse engine technologies or maybe other Corvette parts like cockpits and one of the reactors that increase maneuverability. But no, it means the Corvette parts that inherently and not through tech improve maneuverability, and those are engines. Basically, most Corvette modules will make your maneuverability worse. Engines will do the opposite, and so for this one, just add 6 total engines and you're good. even though only 3 of them will have their related technology in the inventory. Also, don't worry, the rewards will give you the needed engines as you go. Advanced Defend may be bugged, or at least the reward from Resist 4 appears to be, as it rewards you a shielding module pack, and the following milestone, Advanced Defend, needs 3 shielding modules, where the pack gives you only 2. The solution to this, if you didn't get one yourself while gathering Corvette parts from the salvage, is to trade. You don't need any of the extra non-core modules. These are aesthetic pieces such as the hull plating, etc. You can trade 1 or 2 of these to get an extra shield module and complete it without having to farm forever. Trading is the way, don't ignore it. Hitchhiking is a completely optional milestone, and that's good, as it basically means you have to have friends, and calling a game out for having no friends isn't cool. Makes me feel bad. To complete this, you can't just wander into someone's Corvette and wait for them to kidnap you. Trust me, I tried to kidnap 2 players earlier, and before I could tell them I'm the captain now, they were gone. Turns out you need to be in a party to ride in each other's ships, so either ask a friend to do that or try starting a mission at the Nexus in multiplayer, and ask people in chat to join you to help each other complete the milestone. Stardiving sounds simple, but getting high enough to skydive for 60 seconds straight is, well, it's super friggin' high. For this, I would recommend ensuring your landing thrusters are full, as at the height required you probably won't have a teleporter at the bottom. Then fly to the atmosphere line of a planet. Now this isn't a line you can directly see, but if you look at the coordinates screen on your ship's HUD in first person, the coordinates will disappear when entering space and be there when in a planet's atmosphere. If you get to the point where the coordinates have just shown up, then jump out the back, you'll start skydiving. Just ensure you don't use your jetpack until right before you hit the ground, as you definitely want fuel left when you reach it, and then enjoy the fall. Spacewreck requires you to complete the derelict freighter. My advice for this one is to do the one in Rendezvous 5. While I haven't actually done the others, Rendezvous 5 has no pulsating grub sacks, and no turrets, just 1 or 2 floaty green jellyfish that are exceptionally easy to deal with. It also has a huge amount of loot, 10 rooms with an ungodly amount of lockers and blue crates. Also, when you dock, don't use a teleporter. There is something supremely epic and satisfying about doing a spacewalk from your parked Corvette to the landing pads of a derelict freighter. It is epic, and I'll never beam down to one, only beam back up after. Undying Horde requires you to take down 8 corrupted sentinels. Well, you can do this easily in general by finding a dissonant resonator on a dissonance detected planet and destroy the little dudes around it. However, it is even easier if you piss the sentinels off on a dissonant world and then use a sentinel pillar to turn them off and destroy them with no effort. You need to turn sentinels off via a pillar for another milestone, so why not take down 2 sentinels with 1 stone and head to these coordinates on the toxic planet Geno in the Rendezvous 1 system. You'll find a sentinel pillar there. And there you have it, 12 tips for speedily swishing the Corvette expedition. Plenty more No Man's Sky guides coming, a big old end-all guide for Corvettes, a speedrun guide for the expedition, and more. If there are any guides you'd really like to see from me at the moment, let me know in the comments and I'll see what I can do. Peace.